Every source has a source. The Athletic.
There have been so many contributors to Real Madrid's success over the past few years, and most of them have been afforded more than ample coverage. But there's one architect of the club's recent triumphs who barely gets a mention: José Ángel Sánchez, the current general director and Florentino Pérez's right-hand man. Sánchez has been at the club since the year 2000, before current first-team squad member Rodrigo was even born. That was the year when Florentino Pérez was first elected to the Real Madrid presidency, and the new boss hired marketing genius Sánchez, a rising star from Segovia, who made a name for himself during the 90s by running marketing campaigns at Sega. He'd even become the company's general director for the south of Europe. He was just 33 when he joined Real Madrid as the club's new marketing director, but Pérez had already identified Sánchez as a businessman who could get things done and someone who had a bright future. At university, Sánchez had studied philosophy and had a way with words that helped bring Sonic the Hedgehog to households across Spain. That way with words also meant he was able to convince influential Spanish journalist José María García that he should tone down his criticism of Pérez, a victory that the new president wouldn't forget in a hurry. And even after switching Sega for Real Madrid, Sánchez's primary focus remained on collecting golden rings. He believed that Real Madrid had the strongest brand in world football and that this could and should be translated into far greater revenues. Over the following years, he played a key role as the club saw its income skyrocket. In Sánchez's first full year at the club in 2001, Real Madrid's operating income was 138 million euros. By 2005, that had doubled to 276 and was still growing. In 2006, though, Pérez resigned from the Real Madrid presidency as the result of poor sporting results. That summer, Ramón Calderón was elected as the new president, and most expected that Sánchez would depart, but that didn't happen. Calderón was won over by Sánchez and kept him on. When Pérez returned to the presidency in 2009, Sánchez once again survived the change in administration. More than survive it, he thrived and was even promoted into a more influential role. Then, when Jorge Valdano left as general director in 2011, Sánchez replaced him, becoming the second in command at the Bernabeu, a role that he has held ever since. And by then, Sánchez wasn't only focused on the commercial side of the business. He'd also become a key figure in sporting decisions and was seen as the closer in some of the major transfers that Real Madrid completed during Pérez's second reign, including the world record signing of Cristiano Ronaldo. Aided by his good relationship with Real Madrid coach José Mourinho, Sánchez grew even more influential in Real Madrid decisions and in the world of football transfers in general, always preferring to operate in the background and rarely granting interviews. As is the case with anyone who works at the same place for 2 decades, not everything has been successful during Sánchez's time with the Spanish club. He was heavily criticised in 2015 for the David De Gea fax machine debacle on deadline day and for Real Madrid's Copa del Rey disqualification after they fielded an illegal lineup by playing the suspended Denis Cheryshev against Cadiz. Sánchez was also a key figure in bringing Rafa Benitez to the club in that summer of 2015 in a move which certainly wasn't successful. Benitez left the club mid-season after just 25 games in charge. Prior to that, Pérez had been the main man when it came to hiring coaches, but the president was perhaps so exhausted after the effort it took to prize Carlo Ancelotti away from PSG in 2013 that he entrusted Sánchez with replacing the Italian 2 years later. The Benitez experiment didn't work out, and Pérez turned to B-team coach Zinedine Zidane. The rest, as they say, is history. However, Zidane's decision to quit in the summer of 2018 also went down as a black mark against Sánchez, with Pérez supposedly unhappy that his general director hadn't been able to anticipate it. Madrid were caught off guard and would lurch towards Julen Lopetegui and the associated farce. Overall, though, Sánchez has achieved far more good for Real Madrid than bad. His decision to hire Uni Calafat in 2014 has paid dividends for Real Madrid, as Calafat has been key in Madrid's transfer policy switch to signing the world's best young talents. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Martin Ødegaard, Fede Valverde, André Lunin, and Eder Militao are just some of the players he's helped acquire. 2 decades on from his arrival then, Sánchez is trusted more than ever, and his salary was recently increased to a reported €3 million. Florentino Pérez will celebrate his 74th birthday in 2021, and the president cannot oversee everything at the club like he did in years gone by. More and more, Pérez works out of his office at construction company ACS, while it's Sánchez who works out of the Bernabeu and the training centre at Valdebebas. Sánchez has been linked with a Real Madrid exit in the past, with rumours suggesting that he could take a role at Manchester United or even with Jorge Mendes' Gestafuti agency. But Sánchez has remained in Madrid and continues to quietly build his legacy. In 2017, Bayern Munich's then technical director Michael Reschke stated that Real Madrid should even build a monument to Sánchez, praising how he'd overseen the club's signing of Marco Asensio for just €3.5 million. That will never happen, and nor most likely would he want it to. But the thought remains emblematic of his contribution to the club's modern success.
But we don't need another striker.
Listen, he's going to sign.
My nephew's girlfriend's brother's barber. His best friend to the Kidman assistant.
Every source has a source. The Athletic.